First, connecting to the same data warehouse on AWS and Azure, but via an external LLM app deployed on my public website, and summarizing, merging, processing data on file sizes of 1 million to 10 million records. So this video is a supplementary to this detailed guide on medium.com with detailed codes, explanation. So all these things are covered in the guide, the coding, the deployment, the setting up of custom tools, monitoring cost, with detailed explanations are there. Then I am also covering the flow chart or a process flow about how that works step by step. And this is also something I have covered in detail in my earlier video. And then all the codes and all where they have to be copied, pasted, it is here. So this is the GitHub repo. It's public, so you can pick up all the codes from here. The main files are app.py and requirements.txt is the same one which I have shared, explained in the guide. For making modification, I use GitHub code spaces, but you can use any of your favorite tools or editor. Make the changes, commit them, push them, and you are good to go. Set up your own database configuration parameter, which will need to be modified. Here I've exposed them in the code for explanation purposes, but best to keep them in an environment variables as I have mentioned in the guide. Next step is to go to render for deployment. Choose a new web service. It's a straightforward process. Point to the GitHub repo and connect it. And once connected, we get all these options. For most of the cases, default options will work. For the start command, we need to use the ubicon start, which I've shared in the guide, shown here also. Choose your plans, free service, free or starters, advanced options if required, and just hit deploy. It takes a few minutes and the web service will be shown as live, and that gives us the API endpoint URL here on the top. So that's the same API endpoint URL that I refer to in the guide, which will need to be updated in the next step. Once we have the URL, then go into Flowise. There, create a new tool and fill it up with the details which I have shared in the guide or as per your requirement. Use the actual API endpoint URL. This is how my actual tools looks like. Fill it up in a similar manner with descriptions, variable, JavaScript code, and save it. Next, we need to go into the Flowise chat flows and create a new chat flow. It's a straightforward configuration. You have the agent node, the model, the buffer memory, and the tool itself. Once saved, we can test it. So let's test it now. Let's ask it to show the tables in AWS. If it is connected, then it will show the tables. As we can see, it shows the table. So we are all set here. Now to make it public, there are many options in the configuration window. We have to make the chatbot public. We can give any other options that we want, and this is the public URL. This is how it looks on my website. I go to the OpenAI option, and here is the chatbot deployed live on my website, which I demonstrated in my earlier video. So pretty much that's the process. Of course, you will need to make changes as per your requirement.